Coca-Cola. No way.
Is there anything
Are you
more
serious?
American
No,
than Coca-Cola?
don't do that.
The
No,
fizz,
no.
No
the
Coca-Cola.
flavor, the former
It's
secret
like our
ingredient,
favorite drink
cocaine.
here.
Coke is basically apple pie in beverage form.
Hi guys, good day and welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite girls and we are back again with another video. So guys, today we are back with another very interesting one.
Very.
One, I'm actually like skeptical about it. So guys, this one is titled American Foods that are banned in other countries. What could the American have done to make people in other countries ban their food? This is actually something bad, honestly. When I said, I was like,
Yeah.
what happened? So we're actually curious and we can't wait to get into it. But before then, if you're new here, please do also hit the subscribe button. It will go a long way. Give us a big thumbs up if you eventually enjoy our reaction, and of course leave a comment for us. So guys, without wasting much of your time,
Let's get right into the video.
Most Americans want to believe that the United States is the gold standard of clean food, but
Always
that
American,
belief may
always.
not hold up to
Believe
scrutiny.
something.
From unsanitary practices in mass production to the addition of dangerous chemicals, countries have good reason to give the side eye to imported foods claiming to be USDA approved. That's right. This week we're talking about American foods that have been banned by other countries.
Okay.
But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Foods channel. Then leave a comment and tell us what other world food facts you would like to know more about. Now let's see how wrong the rest of the world really is.
Skittles.
Oh my god, I know this.
Since the dawn of
This is so
Skittles,
nice.
there have been rumors about the dangers of eating
I
them.
love these.
Every one of
Okay.
them.
I don't think anyone should ban this.
Yes.
I actually got this.
Yes. It's
All the way
so
from
nice.
the US, someone special sent it to me, and I enjoyed it. It was nice. I
It's
mean,
really nice.
why would any country ban this?
Exactly. What is so wrong with it?
Let's
Like,
just see.
Amazing.
I heard at least one classmate claim that the red ones make you sterile,
Oh.
and the yellow ones, they give you cancer. Turns
Are you
out,
serious?
it might be worse than that.
Cancer?
First of all, your classmate wasn't wrong. The dyes known as Yellow 5 and Yellow 6 have been linked to hives and hyperactivity in children.
goodness.
Sweden and Norway have banned the candies out of concern.
Oh,
The European Union will most likely be banning Skittles at the end of the year,
My goodness.
having already swapped out some of the dye for more natural flavors. This is because of something called titanium dioxide, which can be found making the colors pop across the rainbow. Research linked titanium dioxide to damaged DNA, which can lead to cancer.
Wow.
While Europe may be ahead of the Skittles awareness curve, America is quickly catching up. In May of 2021, the Environmental Working Group asked the FDA to categorize titanium dioxide as toxic.
Wow.
And yes, before you ask, right now the FDA says it's okay to consume some of that chemical compound. You can taste the rainbow, but just in moderation.
okay.
California is home to an ongoing lawsuit against Mars Inc., the parent company of Skittles.
Yes.
The lawsuit claims Skittles are not only toxic, but are unfit for human consumption.
Are you serious?
So maybe for now, play it safe.
Wow.
Just go have some Swedish fish instead.
Bread?
Why?
Bread is like our everyday food here.
Ever looked at a piece of crusty
Maybe they
French
have their
baguette,
special
be it in
recipe
cartoon
and
or
it's
in
bad.
real life? But let's be honest, it was probably in the hands of Pepe Le Pew. And think, I can't make a sandwich with that. As great as we talk about the invention of sliced bread, a lot of European countries have actually banned much of what you'd find on America's wide grocer shelves.
Wow.
That's because we make a lot of our bread not just with grain, but with a variety snap packs worth of additives. Like azodicarbonamide, for example, which helps bleach flour and strengthen dough. Fun fact about azodicarbonamide, it's also used in a spectrum of industrial products, including yoga mats.
Wow.
Why will you use what you make?
Downward dogs. The
That's
European
right.
Union is really against the idea of its citizens
What
eating
use
yoga
making
mat
yoga mats
material
make
and has
bread?
banned their use in food products.
Oh, so basically, I think it's not about the food in general. It's about how you make it.
Yes.
How
the method,
Americans
the
make their own the
ingredients.
method and recipe. So let's just continue.
Okay.
Pork, the other white meat, is a staple of American meats along with chicken, fish, and beef. From bacon to ham, hot dogs to pork chops. American meat eaters consume about 67 pounds of pig per person every
wow.
year.
Are you serious?
My heart is stopping. Don't get us wrong. Other nations indulge in swine just as much, if not more, than Americans. So why doesn't the U.S. export scores of succulent bacon-bearing boars? Well, it turns out America adds a lot of chemicals during processing. Ractopamine in particular is used in many pig farms to raise porkier porkers.
Wow.
Ractopamine, which we put a dash of in a lot of foods, has been banned in 160 countries, which all consider the drug unsafe for human
My
consumption.
goodness.
This in turn has led to a prohibition of pork exports across the world.
Wow.
The EU hasn't touched the stuff since outlawing ractopamine in 2009. China and Russia have been ractopamine-less since 2013. Maybe that's because ractopamine has the same effects as an intoxicant on humans and can cause tachycardia, headaches, and muscle spasms
Wow.
if consumed in large enough quantities. But it is a small price to pay for a perfect piece of the pork.
No, please don't pay that price. Chicken?
Hygiene in
No, I love
America
chicken.
often comes
Really?
down to
What are they
dousing
doing to it?
stuff in a chlorine bath and calling it FDA approved, and chicken is no exception. Pathogen reduction treatments, or PRTs, refer to the use of different chemicals to destroy harmful microbes on raw meat. Somewhere along the line, American food regulators decided a quick chlorine shock was the best way to kill salmonella and other bacteria on uncooked poultry. Chlorine
Mass
marinade.
production.
And look,
Chlorine.
it's not that the EU is against taking a long gulp from the public
Yeah.
pool now and then. In fact, the risks posed by chlorine consumption are relatively low. The bigger concern is that the chlorine baths are just an eye-burning Band-Aid on a larger problem. The tip of the beak, so to speak. They're worried that the PRTs are insufficient to deal with more than just the normal bacteria and don't get at a potential contamination from things like low-quality feed to unsanitary coops on farms. The EU called the chlorine rinse an easy fix, arguing no chemical rinse will ever remove all bacteria from meat heavily contaminated as a result of poor hygiene.
That's
Oh my
bad.
That
God.
hurts extra to hear it from the French.
Mountain Dew. What's that?
Mountain Dew
Yeah.
is the
No.
closest any soft drink has come to being fully weaponized. But did you know in
We
Austria
have this
and
drink
Norway
here.
the soda
Are you
is
serious?
outright
yes, there's
banned?
some mountain.
That's
dew here.
because Mountain
I've
Dew's
not
signature
had it before.
Chernobyl radiant hue comes from tartrazine, also known as yellow 5. And if your ADHD hasn't kicked in yet, you'll remember that color and number from the Skittles section earlier. It's been linked to headaches, hyperactivity, and the desire to be annoying to other people.
That's
Yeah,
annoying,
Ironically, the
really.
qualities that make Mountain Dew a soda non gratis in other countries is exactly what the brand promotes: a frenetic, over-caffeinated lifestyle.
Yeah.
No.
Do the
More
do.
active.
Baja
Okay, it's an energy
Blast.
drink.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. And while you might be able to find Mountain Dew in Europe, it's going to hit a little different. That's because Europe spent exactly 2 years in the 90s riding the dew before discontinuing it.
Wow.
What is being sold as Mountain Dew in the EU has a recipe closer to the original carbonated beverage, as created by Tennessee beverage bottlers Barney and Ollie Hartman in the 1940s. The original Mountain Dew was meant as a whiskey mixer, with a name coming from the affectionate Scottish term for moonshine.
Wow.
It'll tickle your innards, is what the old ads used to read. No lies detected here.
Yahoo! Mountain Dew!
Little
Little
Debbie.
Debbie.
What's that?
Little Debbie has been providing Americans with comfort snack food since the 1960s, with their variety of zebra cakes, Star
Okay.
Crunches, Nutty Bars, fudge
Smart.
rounds, and cosmic brownies. But their big claim to fame, as anyone who has ever had their lunch packed by a parent can attest, is the Little Debbie Swiss Rolls, a mixture of
this
rich
looks
chocolate
nice.
cake
It
and
does.
butter-creamy filling. Over 900 million cartons of Little Debbie products are shipped each year,
Wow.
but none of those cartons go anywhere near Austria or Norway.
Wow.
Blame
That's
those
serious.
rascally additives,
Yeah.
yellow 5 and red 40. Swiss rolls contain 32 milligrams of dye per product, and in those quantities,
they are
they've been
dye.
shown to have an adverse effect on children.
That's
And we're
not
not
good.
just talking about causing hyperactivity, although one study found that cutting all artificial food coloring from diets may be 1/2 as effective as prescribing kids Ritalin. And while we can't prove there's a direct connection between artificial food coloring and cancer, they do cause damage to white blood cells, causing them to mutate after only 3
My
hours.
goodness.
Wow.
Exposure to these dyes could cause tumor cells to multiply way more rapidly.
That's crazy.
For that
So-
reason, researchers
What I want to know is, are the people in the US, the children in the US, not being affected by this?
By these, exactly.
Because if they still sell it like it's the normal thing, and then, but I don't know.
Doesn't make sense, bro.
I don't know. Is this video exaggerating? Is it really like this? If you are in the US, can you attest to this? If these things are really harmful with harmful colors and substance, why are the people in the USA, the parents in the USA, and every other person, the government and officials, still letting them consume it?
Yeah,
It shouldn't be other countries, right?
Exactly.
Healthcare should be like.
exactly.
But let's see. Let's just continue.
say a high chronic intake of food colorings throughout the entire life is not advisable. If only they weren't so delicious. Surprisingly, you can buy Little Debbie's Swiss rolls in the EU, but they come with warning labels advising parents of the potential dangers to kids.
Causing lung
You know,
cancer.
like-
Oh my god.
Like,
Who will see this and
this
still
is
go ahead
crazy.
to buy
Exactly.
heart disease?
Like, you can't be selling something that is edible and still say it's harmful to kids. You can say that
Yeah.
about drugs, you can say that about other things, but
Like,
not
if
edibles.
it's so bad, don't even bother putting
Yes.
it out there and then putting this disclaimer.
Exactly. This is crazy.
Heart
though.
disease.
Complicates pregnancy. May complicate. That's
It's just really scary. And
for food, not even drugs.
is this real? Can anyone attest to this? Because
Exactly.
I feel this video is exaggerating, to be very honest. But let's just
This is
continue.
a lot.
Cigarettes.
Kellogg's.
Oh, we have that here.
Yes.
Serious.
When you hear the words
Oreo.
banned breakfast cereal, you're probably
Cocoa
imagining
Puffs.
one of the countless
I do have one
kid-focused
here right
brand
now.
sugary morsels, like
my
the
God.
oh-so-delicious Cookie Crisp. So you might be surprised to learn that it's actually Special K, the most boring cereal on all of the earth, that has been banned in Denmark and discouraged in the EU.
This
How
looks
does the
healthy.
healthiest
Yeah, it
box of
does.
flakes on the
There's a lot
shelf
of
get
fruit in
banned,
it.
while stuff like Reese's Puffs and Cinnamon Toast Crunch continue to enjoy free passage? Ironically, because of its supposed health benefits. In the UK, Special K has been put on blast by the Advertising Standards Authority for exaggerating how much folic acid they pack into portions. Though it's still legal to buy in Europe, Denmark has completely banned Special K since
Oh,
2004 for all its
really?
fortified vitamins and
Why?
minerals. Regulators argue that Kellogg's cereal's unnaturally high levels of everything from vitamin A to zinc actually qualify Special K as a genetically modified organism, or GMO. More specifically, Special K is swole with the same artificial compounds that studies have shown to potentially pose health risks, specifically to children and pregnant
Seriously?
women. In conclusion, you may want to stick
How
with
won't you
crunch
eat
berries.
something like this while you're pregnant?
See,
You don't need to take a transcontinental flight to visit countries that have banned American foods. Just drive up to the Canadian border, flash your passport, and sign an affidavit saying you're not smuggling any steak tartare
Wow.
in your trunk. Today, consuming raw meat has fallen out of fashion in the US, much like other foods like veal and pate, which don't make you sick but might make you sad. But while baby cow and overstuffed goose liver is illegal in parts of America now, tartare is not. See, while veal and pate may be uncool, they are also served hot. Unlike tartare, which is chopped up cold
I
meat
really don't
straight
like
from the
this
cow.
personally.
chopped meat
Undercooked
straight
or
from
raw
the
foods
cow.
can lead to an increase in food poisoning and parasitic
weird.
infections, especially in
It's not
beef
even
and poultry. But considering how
Huh?
fancy
Who
pants
does-
steak
who eats
tartare
this?
is,
You eat this in
Titanic food,
America.
one might say,
That's weird.
you'd think countries might look the other way and let the luxury delicacy slide. And for a long time, they did.
Oh my god,
In
this is not
Canada,
even
It's
meat
funny.
funny.
has to
Honestly,
reach
I
an
like-
internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit, the equivalent of a medium rare steak, in order to be considered safe to serve.
But who
But
my God,
those
this is
rules
raw
aren't
meat,
strictly
raw meat,
enforced.
raw egg.
That is,
my
until
God.
recently.
This feels
In
like
2021, restaurant owners in New Brunswick
I'm not
selling
eating
steak
this.
tartare were all
I'm
served
definitely
cease
not.
and desist letters. Canadian public health officials had decided
this should
that
be
amid
banned.
the ongoing health crisis of COVID-19, the last thing their citizens needed was a side order of
Wow.
botulism.
Coca-Cola?
Cola.
No way.
Is there
Are you
anything more
serious?
American
No,
than Coca-Cola?
Don't do that.
The
No, no,
fizz,
no.
We love
the
Coca-Cola.
flavor, the former
It's
secret
like our
ingredient,
favorite drink
cocaine.
here.
Coke is basically apple pie in beverage form. And it's not just Americans who are cuckoo for Coke. Invented by a pharmacist in 1886 Georgia, Coca-Cola quickly caught on overseas. It was the World War II GI's drink of choice. Pre-pandemic, Coca-Cola had 500 brands in
Wow.
over 200 countries, making it the best-selling soft drink and one of the most recognizable brands of all time. But there will always be exceptions. And unlike the other entries on the list, for once, it has nothing to do with
Okay,
health
so what's it
concerns.
about?
Everybody knows that Coke is not good for you. We just decided collectively that
I'll
we
keep
don't
drinking.
care. No, the countries that have outlawed the brand
Oh my
have done
God.
so because of what it represents, a symbol of the encroachment of American capitalism. From 1962 to 2011, the U.S. banned
Oh,
sales
really?
of Coke to Burma as part of sanctions against the military junta that ruled the country until
Why?
2011. It resumed sales in the country in 2012. Today, Coca-Cola is only unavailable in 2 countries with long-term trade embargoes with the U.S. North Korea hasn't allowed Coke since
my God, I miss
1950,
it.
and the bubbly beverage has been banned in Cuba since Fidel Castro
North
seized
Korea. There's
supplies in
something about this North
1962.
Korea.
First the prequels, now Coke. Is there anything that can't be ruined by the federalization of trade taxation? In a twist of irony and lime, Cuba was actually one of the first bottlers of the beverage outside of
Oh.
America. Today, Cuba
Oh,
Cola has
there's
replaced Coke as the
Coca-Cola.
country's
Cuba
soft drink of
Cola.
choice, though black
sounds
market
good.
sales abound. After
Havana
all,
Club,
it is the
okay.
birthplace of the Cuba Libre, aka the rum and Coke.
Me and Miss. Oh, I didn't
Oh, I
realize
love
M&Ms.
M&Ms,
I didn't
the
know that,
delicious
yeah.
melt in your mouth, not in your hand snacks, were originally a collaboration
like so
between the
nice.
Scion sons of the
I
Mars
don't
and
think
Hershey
I've had this
dynasties
before.
in 1941.
Like similar
Like
to
Coca-Cola,
Skittles,
M&Ms
yeah.
gained international fans during World War II, as American soldiers popularized the candy overseas as the chocolate that won't get your trigger finger all sticky. But you won't find the candy in Sweden, where it's banned due to a trademark conflict with a
Oh.
popular national
Seriously,
candy
I
that
miss it
also
so much.
features lowercase m's as its signature. When Mars introduced the candy to Sweden in 2009, a court ruled its marketing too similar to that of the
Oh,
Norwegian
wow.
Marabous, which resemble
Yeah,
Kit
this one is
Kats.
like
During World War
competition.
I,
Yeah.
Marabou had moved its manufacturing to its Swedish neighbors, where it received a royal warrant of appointment by the King of Sweden.
King of Sweden.
Here we thought the Swiss were the chocolate snobs. Should you want to check out what the fuss is all about, Marabou's is sold in IKEA stores here in the
Okay.
U.S. Well, at least it's good to know that M&Ms don't contain any harmful dyes or chlorine residue, right? That's a pretty important victory for hard-shelled chocolate. So what do you think? Which of these banned foods sounds the most delicious?
Okay, so that's it about this one. Which of these banned foods sounds the most delicious? For me, I think everything was actually okay. The only one that was not really okay, that was okay with the banning, is
Yeah,
the raw meat.
it's a no for me.
Just
Definitely.
why come closer? Why would you
Raw
eat raw meat? I mean, who does
I
that?
think is it no? It's not shisha. There's this Korean meat that's like partly fish.
Okay.
That's like partly cooked.
How do you partly cook a fish?
Like it's not going to be well done, but then it's like they'll just cook it for like probably 5 minutes or less than
Bring
5
it
minutes,
out.
like a minute or 2 minutes. Yes, and then
I don't like anything raw. Personally, I don't know, maybe even raw eggs. I can't eat.
no.
You know, there's some foods that the egg is just so raw, the yolk is still very
Yes.
uncooked. I can't. They're not talking more of like raw meat. I mean, meat is like, okay. I think they actually like chop it into bits and pieces,
Yeah.
but even at that, it's not healthy. The methods
I think
of it.
I think we Nigerians we overcook everything, every single thing. Our meat is, but I heard overcooking meat and fish is not so good. But we
Okay.
literally overcook every single thing we eat. We overcook. I think the only thing we do not overcook is when we are making a salad or something. We don't cook that one at all.
I think it's better to overcook than not to cook at all.
But because undercooking is just
Yeah.
tastes terrible. Imagine eating meat and then the blood is like literally still there.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's even diabolic. I'm sorry. there's something that comes to my mind, like,
Yeah.
why are you eating raw? Like, you're not scared?
Imagine me eating a food and then I can literally see the blood there coming out.
It's somehow.
Yeah.
No offense to you.
But I
if you
think-
like it.
But I think if they ban Coke, I'm literally in Nigeria. I'm literally leaving. No, I'm going to leave. If they ban Coke,
You're
I'm
going to pack it.
Yes, I'll pack and leave. So
They shouldn't. They shouldn't. I think
yeah.
they shouldn't. And also the Skittles. Okay, they said the chemicals and all of.
Yeah.
I think even the bread. I think it's not about the stuff in particular. It's about what they use in making it.
Yeah.
You know, some of these countries feel it's highly unsafe for them. But at the end of the day, they're still eating it and consuming it in the US, right? So it's just, I don't know. It's just somehow I still don't get it. How this country feel this is unsafe for them, they don't want it, and then the US are okay with consuming it. And then the most shocking one for me is actually the sweet that they actually put. I think the name is something
Little
Debbie.
Debbie's,
Yeah.
Little Debbie's, yeah.
That they put a disclaimer. I mean, for something that a child consumes, it's not that it can cause cancer and it's harmful, and you still go ahead to sell
that's
it.
Like the wrongest marketing, I don't know, packaging.
Strategy,
Yes, like doesn't make sense.
Nobody will buy it.
Exactly.
It's better for you to rebrand, like check your recipe and
it's like
do something else.
It's like keeping a poison and then you're selling poison and you're like not good for kids and all. It doesn't make sense. And then you're like telling kids to still take the poison,
regardless if they want, it's their choice.
It sounds
so it just doesn't make sense, honestly. But yeah, overall, we think this is an amazing video, and we got to learn all of this. I think I've basically had Skittles. I've had Coca-Cola like every day. I always had it today.
And then the M&M.
Yeah.
M&M.
I think it's a chocolate, right?
Yes, it's like a sweet wrapped. It's a chocolate that is inside, but then wrapped with like different colors.
So yeah, that's about this one. Thank you also so much for watching with us. What do you think? What's your thought on this particular thing?
Exactly.
Share your thoughts with us. So yeah, I was not shocked about North Korea because it seems like not being in tune with the rest of the world.
With a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. So a lot of realities. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this one with us. Please do share your thoughts with us. We'd like to read from you. And also please do all to work.
Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and follow.
Yeah, please share this video with your friends and love. That's also how you can support the channel. Thank you so much. God bless you. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you all
in our next video.